Well, I am back with another Play Arts Kai figure. You know, I made a big deal last time about how I hadn't bought a Play Arts in like 6 years, and now all of a sudden I have two. I mean, it's of the same character, so it doesn't count. But today we're looking at the Final Fantasy VII Remake Tifa Lockhart dress version. This is a figure that I've been excited to get my hands on for a while now, mostly because I wanted to get this on the off chance that they were going to make a Play Arts Kai of Cloud in a dress, because I would want Tifa and maybe Aerith to complete that scene, and as luck would have it, they just announced Play Arts Kai Cloud in a dress. Thank you, Square. But at the same time, they also announced that they're putting NFTs in their figures or something. I don't know. It's stupid. No one wants it. I don't know why they're doing that. But yeah, like I said, I was also considering picking up Aerith, but decided against it because A, it helps my wallet. B, she didn't come with a folding chair. That was like the one accessory that was like, oh wow, if she doesn't come with that, that'd be weird. And she didn't. That's like everyone knows that screenshot of her with the folding chair. I don't know why they didn't do that. But actually, this is going back to the last video I did, because this box looks very like normal. The colors are all very vibrant on this, and I said last time it looked like the Tifa box was like sun damaged, and that is exactly what looks like happened, because this one is incredibly vibrant. It looks great. Whereas here's the box of the Tifa figure, and it is it just looks washed out. It looks sun damaged. I'm also really excited that they're finally making bring arts of Final Fantasy VII characters, but they're going with the original version. I think that's going to be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited for that. You know, I probably won't pick up every single character, but, you know, I'll pick up Cloud, Tifa, Barret, Sephiroth, most likely. Alright, what do we got in the box? Oh, there's like a cool picture in there. If you take the box and then flip this portion open, you got Tifa giving you a little shush there. It doesn't look like there's really anything else in the box. There's just some instructions here. Pretty par for the course. These inserts you always gotta take out, because they are literally impossible to put the figures back in with these inserts. Those stink. So just like the other one, this does come with a base, with a stand. And unlike the other one, who had pretty solid feet, this one's wearing like high heels, and I anticipate having to use that stand. Alright, so here is the figure out of the box. And yet, it looks like these... I mean, she doesn't not stand. Just gotta get all this stuff off of her. Okay, that was easy enough. Maybe too easy. How do you get this stuff off of here? I want to take her skirt off. That sounds weird and not really something that I want to do. It almost looks like that's exactly what they want you to do, is like take her lower body off. That's okay. You just tear it off. So let's pop her head back in there. And hope that it's a nice snug fit. But there is Tifa in the flesh, in the plastic. Yeah, she's definitely gonna need the stand. Should I put her in it already? Probably. So right off the bat, she looks pretty good. I don't know if it's just the lighting, but the lighting is making the dress look blue when it is quite purple. I anticipate this is going to have a lot of... Oh, wow. She's actually got pretty good articulation. I was going to say, she's probably got a lot of problems that a lot of, like, dainty female figures have, which is that their articulation is very fragile, but she looks like she's made quite sturdily, actually, if that is a word, which I'm pretty sure it isn't. It's kind of hard to hide joints, you know, when the character doesn't have sleeves or anything on their legs, so it like visually looks kind of weird. You know, they're able to hide it with the other Tifa figure because she's wearing like gloves and like, you know, leggings and stuff like that. But if that's like the only visual problem that I have with this, that's not the worst thing in the world. I guess the one area kind of contention here that I'm seeing is this hair, which is, I assume, why they gave you a second hair piece, but we'll get into that later, because this is kind of looking a little janky when it's like that. Now here's one area that I'm really curious to see what they've done with, because this was a big point of contention with the previous Tifa play arts, was that her face looked weird. There were a lot of videos about that and a lot of people losing their minds over Tifa's face. And this one looks pretty good. But we'll have to take a look at both of the faces to see what's really, you know, going on here. It looks certainly a lot closer to the pictures that are on the box. So here we have the two Tifas side by side, and I'm pretty sure that my theory has been proven correct. I said the last time there's not really anything technically wrong with the face of the one on the right. The only actual issue is that the face is a little too puffy. It's a little too rounded. Whereas you can see the one on the left, the face is a lot thinner, and you can see that the features look a lot more normal. I'm perfectly fine with the Tifa on the right. Her face is just fine to me. But I know that there were a lot of people who really threw a fit over this figure and her face in particular. So maybe if you got like the original Tifa and didn't get the one that had the new faceplate, you know, maybe grab this figure to get an extra head. I wonder if you could switch the heads. Let me test that out real quick. It doesn't quite look like it. It looks like you'd have to put the whole other head. Actually, no. Hold on. There you go. It looks a little weird. Especially because the expression isn't quite the same. It's more of a... it's a very different expression than the one that she had on there previously, but... yeah, I mean, you could do that. You could theoretically swap the faceplates if you wanted. This one would probably look more normal on that one than this, like, weird kissy face that this one has. One thing I just noticed from looking at these two faceplates up close is that the first Play Arts Kai Tifa, the one that is not the dress version, has much more vibrant eyes than this one, it seems like. Let's see if we can show that. We got... hold on, that's not her eyes. That is. Look in her eyes. Look in her eyes. I guess you can't really see that too well, but this one has more vibrant eyes than this one. I guess you can kind of see that. So, let's put that other Tifa to the side. We don't need to be seeing her anymore. So let's talk about other accessories, or just accessories in general. She doesn't really come with a whole lot. This is really the only significant, like, accessory she has. Another thing that you can kind of tell that's a difference between the two figures is that this one has a different earring. It's more of like a moon, whereas the other one is just kind of like, it's just like a little silver piece that hangs down. So here are the two major accessories that I would say are of note, which would be this alternate faceplate that we have shown, and this alternate hairpiece. Now, I don't know if this is on all of them or just mine, but the hair, the bangs, do not want to go back on the secondary hairpiece. So hopefully that's just mine. I probably won't be posing her with this anyway, so... with the hair anyway, I probably won't be posing her, but... that is something to look out for. And here's just a quick little look at the two faces. They are different, they both do have different expressions. This one is more neutral, more kind of smiley. And this one is a little bit more pouty, I guess I would say. It's kind of has, she kind of has like kissy lips, but it's also kind of a pout. I don't really know how else to describe that. So next, let's get into her other accessories, which really aren't as exciting as the other ones, and they weren't even very exciting. Ooh, these slide in very smoothly. These might be some of the easiest to put, like, take on and off alternate hands I've ever seen. So, up first, we got a pair of punchy hands. We got two fisted hands, which is, I guess, to be expected, but, you know, they sure are there, and they sure are punching hands. Her next hands are kind of bizarre. There aren't two of each of these. There's just one. One is a, like, serious claw hand. And then the other one looks like it should be grabbing a gun. But I really don't know what that would be used for. Maybe for, like, a point, or maybe just, like, a gentle, like, grab of something. I really don't know. Maybe she can use it to play with her hair, because she's a girl. I really couldn't tell you what these are for. We got two kind of open hands here. These are both the same. They just look different at this angle. But they are exactly the same hands. They're kind of an open palm with the two, with the ring finger and the pinky kind of retracted a little bit. I don't know. They're weird. I guess you can mix and match these for different poses, but they don't seem to serve like one specific purpose. Which, you know, usually there's like, oh, there's a grabbing hand, there's a punching hand, there's a flat hand. But there's a couple of, like, just weird hands that they've included here. Now, there is one last hand. So here is the last hand. It is this shushing hand. It's probably the one that would help you make the most, like, dynamic pose. So I anticipate this is probably the one that I'm going to actually use to pose the figure. And I also assume that this head is supposed to be for this specific hand. Because I guess it looks like she could be shushing instead of pouting, as I previously thought. But that's basically it for her hands and her accessories, which is strange. I would say definitely in terms of this figure and the Aerith figure, which again I didn't buy, the accessories seems to be the real major sticking point here that I would say is probably no good. You know, I wanted this figure because I love Tifa, and the Don Corneo Mansion segment is one of my favorites from the original game, and the remake even more so. So I was going to get this no matter what. You know, the Aerith figure didn't come with the folding chair, which seems like such a no-brainer. And I honestly don't even know what the Tifa figure could come with. So really, this is just kind of, it's pretty bare bones, but I don't really know what else it could have come with. You know, I bought this figure because Tifa is my favorite character in Final Fantasy VII, and I want to eventually get that Cloud in a dress figure when that comes out, and I think Tifa will look good next to him. So I wasn't really expecting any crazy accessories to come along with it, but, you know, it is still pretty barren. So I think overall it's a pretty good figure. The articulation's really fantastic. That surprised me. I was expecting it to feel really brittle and fragile like a lot of other kind of like female figures. You know, they have smaller joints, smaller arms and legs usually, and I always feel like, oh, if I move this too much, it's going to just snap in half. But these joints all feel really smooth and really good to, you know, to move around. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's a striking design. It's not quite as good as the previous Tifa figure, but it's still worth your time if you're a Tifa head like myself.